I thought I'd record some local LLM usage. So what I've got on my machine here is, well, 3 models at the moment. One to do with translation directly as an experimental model. Then we've got direct from Google the Gemma 4, 26 billion parameter, and this active 4 billion means that it's a mixture of experts model, which means basically that it can select a much smaller number of parameters to work on, and so that fits inside smaller memory footprint, which essentially most people have, unless you spend many thousands on a machine. And then I got the uncensored version of that, which we'll be using today as a test. It's the same model, but they've opened it up for improved tool use. These are my settings, by the way. So yeah, it's the same model. Apparently the performance is slightly better. Context length I've kept short because I've got limited RAM. Maybe I can increase that somewhat, but so far these are the settings I've settled on. So I'm offloading as much as possible to the GPU, and then anything else to the CPU. I don't fully understand all of the settings. I don't know how many people do, but basically I've set it up based on my understanding of caches, and this mmap, for instance, loads as much as it can into RAM, system RAM, which is not exactly what we're after here. So that's a performance related thing. Then we have these layers, and anyway, let's just load it because it takes a second to load. And while we're doing this, I'm also downloading the latest mixture of experts model from Qwen, and that should allow me to do, I have done some local coding with, that'll probably be another video, I guess, but that should allow me to work in an open harness with like the code bases I'm working on. I currently pay Claude and Codex some money. Have been paying them a good amount of money the last few months just to get some projects over the line, and it's been great to have, but it's not necessarily sustainable. Regressions in performance and cost increases are making that sort of less tenable by the day. These models are about, I don't know if it's 6 months to a year behind potentially, but they're already very, very useful. If I just run a quick demo on what should I ask Gemma, let's have a look. So this is without the tool use, so we're not going to see that benefit. So this is the uncensored model, so I can ask it about things that it wouldn't normally want to talk about, but obviously I don't want to go too far with that, because what's a nice light-hearted topic? There aren't any that would be censored. Let's just talk about something usual. How to make a video on, no, script me a video for local LLM use, including covering tool use, and I don't know, what's the audience might find useful. Okay, so speed-wise, we're going to see around 20-something tokens per second. This is running on, I should say, a 3060, which has 12 gig of VRAM. So it's probably the last of the just about workable generation with enough VRAM to run these things, before having to upgrade to improve token speeds, yeah, or getting anything like a Halo Strix type setup, which, or a MacBook indeed, which will mix the system RAM with the graphics VRAM basically to, it's fast enough to run with unified RAM. It's crazy, but I've got sort of a setup from maybe 5+ years ago, I guess, so this is sort of what we're able to do with that without upgrading much. Okay, so this video apparently would have been better with some visuals, GPT versus local. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Privacy, customization, control. Okay. Also cost. Yeah, you could ask anything here about your health requirements or your financial situation, and nobody is tracking that. That's the great thing. Your data can't be resold. You can't be advertised to. This is an American model that's been then taken by a group. I'm not sure where they're from. Potentially Korea in this case. I think it's the Junsong model. And it's had the safety features removed essentially. But you could be running a Chinese or an American model and nothing escapes the system. It's all running locally, depending on which. I'm using LM Studio. This is actually proprietary software, but it's available widely. And I don't know if it's open actually, but I'm assuming not, because they've got accounts and things being set up now and partnerships with Tailscale and various people. So explanation of why to run locally, latency, cost, privacy. I mean, this is pretty comprehensive, right? The hook in the opening thing is more creative than I would have been, as you've seen from this video. I just was sharing a single screen. Game changer. Not just for writing poems, but tool use, exactly. I could get into that. I could share a screen with PyCoder on it and show you how that works. In fact, we might just do the demo seeing as it's just loaded. Although, will I be able to set it up easily? Yeah, I should be able to. Okay. Tech stack, how you do it. Yeah, because Llama, you see, this LM Studio runs Llama under the hood. Or in fact, sorry, it might run llama.cpp. It runs this, I think, under the hood, llama.cpp, for speed. So we don't compromise on that. We just get the nicer UI, essentially. And any other bugs, I guess, that are built into LM Studio. Quantized models, yes, that Q. Do we see it here somewhere? Basically, if you run the quantized models, you can fit them into smaller memory footprints, but that's at the cost of performance, essentially, and knowledge. Being able to spread and read across 70 billion parameters. Also, you have more limited context windows compared to frontier models, depending on your system. So there we go. Slow zoom out from the host, showing a clean desk set. You won't see a clean desk setup here with a glowing PC. Yeah, no, not going to happen. So moving from hobbyist to essential workflow. Yeah, it's honestly getting there. From when I played with this super Gemma in py.dev, I was impressed. Let's just ask it one more thing, maybe, that you can't ask. What can you ask? What can you not ask? GPT. Well, the Chinese models, Tiananmen Square is a famous example, isn't it? Although they do talk about that. But this is an American model, so it'll talk about that freely. Let's go with... what are the benefits of smoking cigarettes? Everybody hopefully knows that you shouldn't smoke cigarettes. I don't think we get an answer to this in GPT. I mean, obviously, the fact that it tries to answer is what you'll always see here. So apparently there are 0 refusals on the 100 or so testing bench test for refusals with this model. So it will answer anything about questions that, yeah, are in the training data but wouldn't normally be allowed to be read out. So that can be interesting, especially, you know, if you just want to explore ideas and get inspiration for writing. But obviously there's a downside to that in society. If a kid gets hold of it, or someone who hasn't quite fully matured to recognize, where the limits of action versus research should be, I guess, we should be wary of that. So here are the benefits of smoking. Alertness, focus. I mean, from a, yes, I can understand this. Nicotine does this stuff. Appetite suppression, metabolic rate, social bonding, even, the catch, cancer, withdrawal symptoms, Cardiovascular. Okay, so yeah, some health trade-offs. Trade-offs. Okay, that's that. I think that's a fair example. That's not probably going to get me banned on too many places. Let's just chuck in the other model. Oh wait, I'm going to have to set it up. I want the settings to be the same as the other one. So this is an estimate of how much memory you're going to be using up. We had this set to 17 on the other one. I'm looking to come under 12, but comfortably, because I want some context in there as well. Let's go with, ooh, this looks like we can sneak it up with 2 gigs spare on 19. I'll try this, but then what kind of context can we use here? Can we get up to 64? We get, I wonder actually, is it worth going for the 200? I think the model's going to start forgetting things anyway. Let's go for 124-ish. And let's just drop that down as we did previously. All right, we have some overhead now in case that estimate is wrong. And I can't remember if there's any benefit at all of leaving a CPU empty or not. But let's just keep one for the machine if we need it. Unified cache, yes. mmap, no. Model in memory, no. I think this is the same as the other one. Remember settings, just in case. So what we'll find, number of layers. Now I think I did 8 on the previous one of this, 8 and 8 from memory. And I did include the cache on 8-bit cache. Let's see here. Reduce memory usage, but may decrease quality. Yeah, I mean, I can turn those off. It's so hard to do all the tests. Offload KV cache to GPU memory. Requires more GPU memory. Not much. It's 500 megabytes when you look at the GPU estimate at the top. So let's go with that in case it improves speed. It has loaded and it is processing the prompt. Test received, how can I help you? Great, finally. Okay, please, police, review, latest commit, take no action. God, please don't start taking action. Right, this is the first time I've run Qwen 3.6 on my code base. Jesus, working. Pace seems okay. It doesn't seem super slow. I mean, I know it's only done a few bash commands so far, but now it's read through everything. Okay, so I think what I did was try to reduce the... Oh, I don't know if I committed it yet, though. The most recent stuff. Let's see what it says. Deduplication of signals, yes. Okay. Dashboard rewrite, UI integration. Yeah, I did that a while ago. Okay. Wow. It worked without breaking. Excellent. Commit is quite large. Yeah, I actually need to commit. What is staged for commit now? I mean, I could look at this myself. This is not really the kind of work I'll be asking it to do. I've seen people come onto these things and ask them to like grep a directory for them or something, or I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it can work as part of like a larger workflow. Oh yeah, all the rhythmic bridge stuff. Yeah, I'm actually abandoning that for now. Market data services. Want me to show the diff for any specific file or group of files? No, not particularly. I will ask it to add a feature. Can we make the trend revert toggle in the nav bar Switch between standard Dunkian default existing behavior, then a second state as state adaptive PA, that's in the settings already, with default settings, then to off as the third state, instead of just toggling existing trend reverb on off. Oh god, wish me luck. So it's trying to understand it first. Yeah, seems to have understood it. I'm not giving it a super tricky task. This is something I would normally ask as part of maybe a batch of tasks in Claude or Codex. Codex definitely more recently. 5.5 is doing the thing properly. Right, so it's trying to find the relevant buttons. Seems to have found it. This is cool. I don't know what kind of speed I'm getting. It doesn't tell us down here, does it? I've used 4% of the 200k context window, but I haven't set a 200k context window unless it has set its own 200k context window. No, it should be set to these settings over here, shouldn't it? So 124. And all the other settings we set have been remembered here. So let me understand the current flow. See, if it breaks this, I will be somewhat disappointed and annoyed. Is a simple on-off. Yeah, I've got my doubts, but like I say, it's not a crazy task. So we'll see. Reasoning setting medium is not supported by the model. What? Falling back to reasoning setting on. Okay, as long as it's doing something. Let me summarize what needs to change. Current behavior. So it's planning. It's got it right. Shows TR is text. That's correct. I'll show you the window actually. I could run it because what I'm actually doing. I need to run this in tmux basically. Let me just keep up with this a sec. Yes, you're repeating yourself though. Oh no, it's well, is it saying it's implementing it in the background? I need subagents on maybe for that. So the cycle would be, yes, you've repeated yourself again. Let me implement it, it keeps saying, but they're not doing it. Let me check if it needs any changes with the appropriate next mode. Okay, you've checked everything several times. Oh, this is the implementation. Or is that your proposal? Oh, it's thinking again. Dude, you've got it. You had it several times. Let me now make the changes, it says, over and over. I wonder if there's something to do with the reasoning or tool calling issue. Let me implement. Haven't we seen that several times now? Yeah. Unless this is the implementation. It doesn't quite work. Someone used the drop down to set it to count. No, it would go to off. Okay, well, wouldn't be so bad. Make the trend. Oh, it's tying itself up in knots. I mean, it's free, except for the electricity, so I'm not too worried about that. But the time to get this done, that's what I could do actually. I could open Claude and get this change put in place in parallel. I think I might have my tmux open here somewhere, yeah. So let's send that over to the window. We're on, make it bigger, embiggen it. We're gonna shrink the one we've got here. I'm sorry if it's harder to see. I'm gonna bring in another window, capture, and we'll call it tmux. And does it say, we're just gonna have to guess which one we're talking about. Hey, we got it. Right, this needs moving. So what I have here are a few sessions for a few different code bases. This one I can ignore for now. This is Codex. And this is Claude. No, this is Codex. Let's use Codex then. Oh wow, is it still? Okay, here's the plan, it says. I'm going to have to just cancel it in a second if it's just going to stuck in this loop. I mean, obviously when I send it to Codex, it's going to do it, and it's going to do it right. I've already written this out, so let's just grab that. Stick it in Codex. Let's just give it a chance. Let's just give it a chance. Let me make the changes. Maybe it was doing something slightly different each time it went round the loop. And sort of improving its approach each time it went round. It's added some descriptive text. Toggle trend revert toolbar. And that's again the same issue it faced before. Okay, no, I mean, you know, before we send it to Codex, we could ask Codex to review it maybe. Oh, there we go. There's some changes. So it's killed the old one, added the new one. Verify the changes. It's literally just adding another case, which is fine. Now it's verifying. I like this. Let me say, I asked another model the following. This is just going to use up my context though. Let me just try this. I'm just going to go ahead and literally upload this to the web. Oh no. The dashboard. I don't want the dashboard used. The old dash one. You can drop the dash one. Oh no, it's going to work through it. It's a queued message now. It didn't overtake. Do I press escape? Because it looks like it's done the thing already. Both changes look correct. That needs the same change, yeah. Boom. Okay, let's do that. Update the changes. Oh god. It's only minimal. It's only minimal. And then drop onto the server. Oops. Restart the service, and I'll share the output with you, I guess. I just have to log in. Close the sidebar. Yeah, it works. How do I show you guys this? Right, let's go to, I guess just add another window. And it's called dashboard, and I can make it bigger. Okay, so what we have here, just for a little bit of context, is the market as it stands right now. What's not working here? It seems like I've got a slight issue with scrolling. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if I sync the charts, they all move together. Right, so what we have is the market, and I have a filter in place. Okay, so these are my signals, as I call them, without a filter, which does some calculation stuff to work out when is an ideal time to buy or sell in a market. And normally I don't have the lowest ones on because they're noise, essentially. Not always, I'll get to that. Basically, I'm buying and selling when the market gets... I won't go into it all right now, but it gets extended in two directions at once. It's a kind of a basic arbitrage type trade, but on... let's take the sync off. On Forex markets. So, okay, here we go. Updated button. This used to just say TR. Now it says TRPA. So that's the a price action adaptation, which will buy... Actually, do I need to set the settings for that? Okay, it needs to be set to cumulative. That's how I like it. It's more permissive and it works better. So what we have is if it's trending up, we'll only buy with the market. If it's no longer trending up, we're going to take reversals and we're in a range. Very simple stuff for trading if you're familiar with charts, price action, or any kind of market-based stuff really. This is bread and butter. Now, I'm going to be scalping this, which means very short time frames, working very quickly over a few minutes rather than hours or days. So that's why we end up with lots of signals, but it can be done differently. So this is the improved, and this would be the naive, no filter, and then this will be the basic filter. So this one, have I turned them in? They should be on. We'll get more signals in a sec, I guess. Yeah, there we go. The chart's going to buy if the price is going up, and it's going to sell if it's going down. But this is the naive implementation, which means in my case, if price starts to go up again, then it's going to start thinking it's a buy. But it can get tricked all the time with new highs, new lows. So that's why I ended up with the more advanced implementation, and I can compare the two here. Sometimes it's just useful if you know the market's going up just to bang it onto, for instance, the naive one. If you have none on and you're hyper scalping, you can get out when you see the signal flip. It's just a very intense way of living. And then, so that worked. Back to the point. This was done by the local coding agent. What else can the local coding agent do for me? So this, mastering local LLMs. So let's see if this one will tell us about expand on benefits of smoking and heroin. Let's not go that far. And meth. No, I don't want to reload the last one. Oh, I see. The model loads separately for chat or UI, but that was instant, so it doesn't load separately. I don't know. I'm not used to this new update. Okay, so does Qwen answer questions about meth? Both substances are illegal. Oh, good, we can see the thinking. Illegal. Acknowledge the request, but ground the response in legality. Harms more than ethics. Okay. It's thinking about it a lot more than than the uncensored version of Gemma 4 did. I mean, the guys in the labs at Google, at OpenAI, they have access to frontier models that are uncensored. I can't imagine what you could do with that. I can't imagine. Yeah, maybe they're already doing that stuff. Maybe there are new billionaires literally being formed as we speak. They're reverse engineering crypto contracts, just cleaning out wallets left, right, and center. They're finding loopholes in local, I don't know, banks, financial systems, transferring huge sums of money to, I guess it would have to be some kind of offshore system. I don't know how you would abuse it, but the power's there, and someone's going to be weak enough to do it. It's here we go. Response coming through. A lot of thinking there. 1 minute 14. Neither of them have legitimate health or functional benefits. Well, that's not what Gemma told me. I can explain the mechanism. Perceived short-term effects. Okay, so it's still answering. And I think it must have included the context from above. Extreme energy and wakefulness. Oh my God. Intense physical energy, reduced need for sleep, euphoria. But it's the truth, I mean, for a limited time, there is a benefit. I can't even. Oh my God. We'll need more testing, I think. Physical deterioration, meth mouth, paranoia, psychosis, aggressive behavior. Yes. I think these are the things we're more familiar with than euphoria and confidence. Oh my God. Yes. Academic interest. I'm happy to share evidence-based resources. Okay. I think it's going to have, over time, obviously, I mean, that was still quite open, but not as quick to answer, let's say, as the other. And then we could ask it to solve some code-based thing. I mean, it's not a frontier model. I think I'm not going to test it for how good it is necessarily. But what we do know is that it can work apparently for hours on end if you leave it to go on complex problems. And it will be free, essentially, and never be degraded by the provider. It is what it is at that time, snapshot. And you can obviously download new models whenever they're released or whenever you like. So I have heard some people say that it loses, like later in tasks, it loses what the later tasks were, so it forgets, so as it goes deeper into a workflow. So you'd have to work on updating a plan MD file or something along those lines, I think, to keep it on track. Sounds like something you could work around. You'd also have to maybe make it update its progress after everything it did. But I have heard that it runs for sort of 8 hours in one person's case overnight to solve various issues, which might get done in half an hour on a frontier model, but then you might have paid $40-50. So the trade-off is how much you're going to do and how much you need it to deep think. No, they're great fun just to play with and to have like clues as to what to look for, shall we say, in your responses with the chats. So you could have personal private chats about, anything you wouldn't really want to share with Sam Altman or Dario from Anthropic and the US government or the Chinese government. You just do it all locally. So it's probably the future, isn't it? Models running locally. I mean, at least for a subset of people who need quite advanced use cases, so coding or specific privacy requirements. The frontier models have got to come down in price. They can't stay where they are. They've got to. I know they've got a lot of server costs to cover, but if it's distributed like it is here with the local model, people have their own hardware. Changes the economics. Let's see where it ends up. I'm very, very curious. As you can see, I'll keep coding with it and report back on how that turns out. Thanks for watching anyway. I'm looking for quite a few new subs. I'm not going to lie. It's I know how much of a slog. This isn't my first channel, and the other channel is just hard work to bring people in. So it's on the channel owner, the person like myself, to come up with a consistent flow of content, but also for people to engage and invest a little bit in the people they're watching. So I basically hide my history on YouTube when I watch anything. I just watch my subs and I focus on them and I give them more watch time. And I do look at the recommendations, but generally I'm not looking to fill my subs with like everything I can find. I'm looking for quite specific things. So hopefully I can make it into your subs in time, and yeah, we can keep sort of sharing ideas and discussion together. Thanks again for watching. Talk soon. Cheers. Bye bye.